The question for today is, where are your edges and do you want to find them? Tap in. Tap in, tap in. If this is your first time joining my live, my name is Amber McField. I am the Hair Growth Capital of the World CEO. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Where are your edges and do you want to find them? If you don't want to find your edges, hop off now. Not even your concern today. Okay? If you don't want to find your edges, you do not have to be here. All right? But if you do want to find your edges, if they ran away and you want to find them, stick with me because I'm about to go over the solutions. I'm going to tell you what the solution is and I'm going to tell you how to use the solution. So comment growth if you resonate with this. If you are already coming on here knowing that your edges are not where they used to be. They're gone, they're thin, they're breaking off, they're falling out. Tap comment growth and I'm going to help you find them. This is what I do. So if you just now joining, I'm Amber McField, Hair Growth Capital of the World CEO, American Medical Certified Trichologist. I tie this holistic health approach into high functioning scalp and hair. I have helped thousands of women achieve unimaginable hair growth. Nobody on the planet can sit in my seat. Nobody, right? So because of that, I have been able to teach other hair pros around the world. So far, they're certified in the United States and Canada how to help you grow your hair as well. So if you are struggling with shedding, breakage, hair growth, thinning, balding, edges missing, whatever the case may be, you are in the right place right now. So stick with me because I'm about to give you the solution. Okay, so, and I used to provide a service, collagen-induced therapy treatment service in my hair loss clinic. I shut the hair loss clinic down and the salon down a year and a half ago so that I can be here with you guys. But I used to do this treatment and this was a $1,000 treatment. This was a $1,000 treatment, all right? And now I created it for you to do it at home yourself. So I'm about to go over this with you and I'm gonna tell you how this actually helps. And if you stick with me, I'm gonna let you know, give you a promotion on it too, okay? Because I really want you to try it because nothing out there is gonna work for you. Not no oils, not no just, you need more aggressive stimulation, all right? So if you're missing your edges, hello everybody, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Where art thou edges? And do you want to find them? You are in the right place, if so. I've been following you since then and been hesitant to order. Okay, well, hopefully this can bring some clarity. Okay, comment one, give me a 1 if you feel like your edges is not as thick as they used to be, or they just flat out missing, or they're thin and you just been struggling to try to get them back. Okay, hello. If they fall out, my doctor said that it is not good because when you stop it, they fall out. Stop what, baby? This is not pertaining to that. I'm not sure what you're talking about, love. So anyway, okay, so yeah, we got a lot of people struggling with edges. All right, so now I used to do this treatment, collagen-induced therapy treatment, right? And you need to understand your body, right? So if you got a scar, your body is going to send a ton of blood cells, rejuvenated, revitalized blood cells to the area to heal the scar, right? So if you cut yourself, your body healed yourself, right? So I have been able to create this concept that to make your scalp feel like it's being harmed when it's not really not being harmed, right? It's almost like tricking your body a little bit, right? So there's 2 parts of this. The first part is we use a derma roller. It's the needles on this roller does not puncture your scalp at all, especially if you do it right. But it doesn't puncture your scalp, and I'm about to teach you how to do it right now. I'm gonna open this up so you can see it really closely too. But this is how it looks. It comes in this here. And this is the first part. So even with this alone, you could see results just with even using this alone. But you have to use it properly, okay? You don't want to use it on dry scalp at all, you know. So, because you don't want to break off any hair. So you use a micro needle, right? And so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up so you can see it. Now, when you rub that micro needle across your scalp, your scalp is gonna say, hey, what's going on? Okay, we gotta heal. So it's gonna create a lot of revitalized cells in your body, and it's gonna shoot it up to the area where you are using the micro needle, right? So this is what it looks like. It's not, I could tap my fingers on it really, really hard and it's not puncturing, right? So it's not dangerous in that sense at all. All right, so I want y'all to understand that. So when you say needle, it's a bunch of little bitty fine needles on here that you can barely see, but it's not going to puncture your scalp. All right, so even with this alone, if you use this on your scalp, it's not going to puncture, but it will make your body think that it is being punctured. You are literally tricking your scalp and your body to think it's being harmed. And so your body is going to create, yes, where's the needle size? Yep, 0.5, exactly. Your body is going to say, hey, the scalp is being harmed. Okay, let's go. We got to get to war. And your body's going to develop cells, revitalize, energize cells, not the tired ones you got over there around your scalp. New revitalized cells to that area. And it's going to go to that area so that it can heal it, right? That's what you want. It's kind of like when people say, oh, massage your scalp. That helps with blood circulation, right? No, this is like blood circulation on steroids. When your edges are missing, massaging your scalp is cool, but no, you need more aggressive blood circulation and stimulation. And this is what does that. Okay, so if you're just not joining me, I'm going over a solution. And I actually have this multi-therapeutic approach to this solution, not just this here, but this is the basis of this live today, okay? So you rub this on the scalp, right? Now, I'm going to show you how to do it in a second, but let me show you the second part. So even just with using this is going to produce a lot of blood circulation and stimulation, what you need for optimum high-functioning hair growth. All right, boom. This is part one. Now, part two is my growth factors. All right, so the growth factor is important because what happens is when you roll the scalp, right, it's going to produce and send a bunch of cells to the area, right? Now, when it sends those cells to the area, you want those cells to divide rapidly. They're going to divide anyway, right? But are they going to divide rapidly once you send the cells up? So you want to multiply the cells quick, fast, right? So that is what the growth factor is for. It's kind of like stem cells, right? If I was to pull blood from your body, I can create your own stem cells from your blood. It's called PRP, right? It is a known service out there, right? But if we don't want to go that far, this is going to work just as well, right? So once you use this is going to connect to the antigen receptors of the new cells that have been developed as a result of you rolling your scalp, and it's going to help them divide rapidly. What happens when they divide rapidly? You have more activity. What happens when you have more activity? You have more hair growth. Does that make sense? So this is a highly effective treatment that I used to do in my hair loss clinic, and it was $1,000 to do it. Now I created it to where it's only, $179? But if you comment growth, I'll send you the link. And when you get the link, I have like a special note in the message about you receiving 15% for one, 20% for two, 25% for three, because one treatment is going to last probably around a month. Maybe 3 weeks, depending on how big the area is. Some of you guys have this whole area missing right here, all of this here, right? So comment growth, and I'll send you the link. So some of you guys have this whole area missing right here. So you definitely, you may make it probably 3 weeks depending on how big the area is. Okay. So now keep in mind, so let's go over like how to actually use it. Now, if you have a small area, you want to use one pump first. You want to use one pump first, okay? Kind of rub that in, and then you want to take the derma roller. You want to use this first. This is why you want to use this first, because you do not want to use any type, you do not want to yeah, I done lost my daggone word. I done had a brain for it. You do not want to stimulate your scalp dry in no circumstances. You don't want to comb your hair dry. You don't want to stimulate your scalp dry. You don't want to do anything to your hair and scalp dry, all right? Which is why you use the pump first. Now, when you use the pump first, yes, thank you, Lakeisha Michelle. When you use the pump first, that gets it nice and moisturized, wet, you know, so that when your scalp is very soft when you go to use the derma roller or the scalp roller, okay? So you use one pump first, and even when you use the one pump and you use the roller, some of the product already there is penetrating the follicles that you're rolling just naturally, okay? So, but if you have a small area, you can pump first, you're gonna roll second, and then you're gonna pump one more time in the area, right? And I say 2 pumps is because if it's small, it's gonna last you a very long time anyway. A month is really good. A month time is really, really good. Now, if you have a bigger area, you may want to salvage a little bit more, like less could be best. So you want to pump, right? Because you want, no matter what, you want that scalp to be really moisturized. And then you want to roll, right? But you probably don't want to do a second pump if your budget is low. Like if you feel like, okay, my pocket's kind of funny, but I really need to do this treatment, then pump, roll, rub again. So just kind of recirculate the product that's already there, if that makes sense, so that you can last longer, right? Okay, so this is a daily treatment. So you can do this daily. You can do this daily. If you skip a day, no big deal. If you skip a day on this, fine. And you just roll, but no matter what, you still have to make sure that scalp is moisturized, okay? So this is a daily treatment. If you have aggressive hair loss, like it's gone, it's missing, you got to stimulate every day, okay? So when you roll, let's talk about when you actually roll. You don't want to do long rolls like this, okay? No long rolls, all right? You want to make sure you do really short, quick rolls. And you don't want to apply a lot of pressure either. You don't have to. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure. This is already stimulating your scalp just by you barely touching it, okay? You also want to make sure that you move any hair out the way as much as possible. So, you know, like this is a good case right here. Now, I don't have any thinning right here, but if you had thin hair and you want to roll like this middle part, you want to just make sure you get that hair out the way, even if you got to just maybe put it in 2 ponytails or whatever. Now, I would roll according to how the hair grows instead of how against it doesn't grow, right? So your hair grows downward. Your hair grows down. So that means I want my roll to be up and down, like this here, instead of like this here, if that makes sense, okay? So if you're just now joining me and you're missing your edges, if you're missing any part of your hair, honestly, this is going to work for you. We're talking about a very aggressive but natural treatment that you can use to really spark some cellular activity, and the science is there. I have been doing this for years, and I did this in my professional office on clients for years. Highly effective. If you're missing hair oil is not going to just mysteriously help their hair grow back, especially if you've been missing hair for years. If you've been missing hair for a long time, putting the oil, all these oils people trying to sell you in the area, it's not just gonna mysteriously grow back in years. If your hair is gonna grow back, it's gonna grow back. It's just about how quick do you want it to grow back? How healthy do you want it to grow back? But if you have no activity and nothing is happening, you need something more aggressive. And this is it. This is it. Okay. So if you comment growth, I will send you the link to these 2 items. And there's some promotions in the message as well. You get to save today, right? Do you have to use this for the rest of your life? No, this is not something that you have to use for the rest of your life. So people get this mistaken with minoxidil. Minoxidil is an actual drug. So we have Growth Therapy Plus Scalp Solution. We only have one product with 5% minoxidil in it. It's a very, 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 very small amount. But when you go to the website, you can see that it states only for aggressive hair loss. Some customers with aggressive hair loss need something more aggressive to start and jumpstart the activity. So we just use that in the beginning to get you going, right? And then there's another plan or product or strategy after we can actually get the hair to penetrate the scalp to where you actually see it. Once you see the hair on the scalp, then you really don't need it anymore. But if you have aggressive hair loss, it's recommended that you stay on that for about a year, because sometimes it takes a year. If you've been missing hair for 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, you haven't had any activity, you're not going to just be able to use no hair growth oil and your hair is going to come back. It's not going to happen like that. It's not. So this is not something that, you use and then the hair disappears, right? There is no drug. This is a natural product. There's no drug, in it whatsoever. Now, what minoxidil does is minoxidil opens up the vessels so that you can get more of what the follicle needs. That's pretty much what minoxidil does. The problem is a lot of people sell minoxidil by itself. Minoxidil is the only active ingredient, and that's dangerous because that in itself could be drying to the scalp. So people who use like Rogaine and stuff like that in Walgreens and the little convenience stores usually have some issues with scalp irritation, and then scalp irritation causes inflammation. Inflammation causes hair loss. So it's like a whole rat race with that, right? Ours have only 5% minoxidil, but it also has DHT inhibitors in there. It also has aloe vera and vitamin E, which really helps to soften and even out the pH balance of the minoxidil, right? However, with minoxidil, in any type of minoxidil, if you abruptly stop minoxidil, because you got to think minoxidil is opening up the vessels so that you can get more of what the follicle and the hair needs, right? So if you abruptly stop, then you shut the vessels fast and it cuts off circulation. That's why people have those issues. But I teach that do never abruptly stop minoxidil. You wean off of minoxidil, shut it slowly so they can go back to where it was, instead of being thrown off track and then just shut and go into panic mode. Like, oh, we're not getting what we had. Okay, retreat. You know what I mean? So, but I will say this also. If you have DHT present in your body, and if you don't change your lifestyle, this is why I talk about stress. This is why I talk about nutrition. You're going to have DHT present. It's going to go back to where it was. DHT is the hydrotestosterone. It's our body's sensitivity to a hormone called testosterone. So if DHT is blocking the follicle, right, and we remove the follicle, you're going to get everything you need. I mean, you're going to get hair growing you didn't even think can ever come back. Right? But if you stop the DHT inhibitors and you have not changed anything about your lifestyle, guess what? The DHT is still there in your body. It's in your DNA. It's in your body. So either you have to manipulate it by products, even something as simple as a shampoo. My shampoo here has 11 organic DHT inhibitors. You have to shampoo your hair anyway. So you're always going to need some type of DHT inhibitor if you have DHT present in your body, or you're going to have to kill it on your nutrition. you're going to have to be so emotionally regulated that you don't allow things in life to disturb your peace. And you got to be a master at it. You got to make sure you get really good sleep. You got to make sure you get a lot of water. Okay. So if your lifestyle is not supporting removing DHT that way, you're going to have DHT present from your products. So that's where a lot of people get that mistaken, right? So, but like I said, if you're doing that anyway, if you're shampooing anyway, that's not going too far out of your normal lifestyle regimen, right? So on our products, when we actually help customers get their hair back, whether it's been missing for 10 years, 20 years, and they never thought it was going to grow back, or they just started missing it, whatever results you get to, especially if you have a genetic issue, we always say, no matter what you do, no matter how you vary, where you go, make sure you always keep the shampoo that has DHT inhibitors in them. You can mix the shampoo. You can use this and then use one afterwards. You can use your own conditioner. You can use this, whatever you want to do. But make sure you have some type of product that has DHT inhibitors, because products don't have DHT inhibitors out here. They may have one. A popular one is saw palmetto. That's a popular one. But one in itself is not going to help you. Okay? So if you're just now joining me, we were talking about how to get your edges back. How to get your edges back. And if they've been missing for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, for a very long time, or you noticing that they're thinning and you're trying to prevent from losing them, this is a really good solution. This is our scalp roller, and this is my growth factors. And together, they are a monster. This makes your body think that your scalp is being scarred or harmed, but it's really not. It is made of needles, but the needles are not, they don't puncture, all right? So they're not invasive, they're not dangerous, but they are really good for the scalp and stimulating the scalp. And you do not need to press really hard. You do not need to put a lot of pressure. You want to go in very small movements, not really, really long movements up and down. Not a lot of pressure, really small movements, and you want to go according to how the hair grows. So down, up, this way, if possible. If you have to go here in the middle, fine. If it's easier, that's fine. It won't make or break. But you want to try to go according to how the hair grows, and the hair grows down, okay? So, and then when you use the growth factor has a lot of, DHT inhibitors in them. It has a lot of B vitamins in there. It also has aloe vera, vitamin E. What it does is it latches on to the cells that this is producing, and it makes them divide rapidly. So that's how we get the results. So I've provided this treatment in my hair loss clinic for a very long time and saw magical results, even when women thought that their hair would never come back. It's just, the science just doesn't lie with it, okay? So if you comment growth, if you are struggling with some edge issues. Oh, one more thing, very important. When you use this, you want to make sure that you're sanitary, okay? So if you have like a little makeup brush and you just have like some soap, you can put some water on it, use a makeup brush and clean it off with some soap, and then like you can like spray it with some alcohol. I would get like an alcohol spray. Or you could just do alcohol spray to make it really simple, all right? But you definitely want to make sure that you clean your device, all right, if that makes sense, okay? You have something to store it in. Very, very simple, all right? And this lasts, I will use this for about a month. So this lasts for about a month. And remember, always pump first, roll second. And if you have a small area, pump third. Do one more pump and roll it and rub it in really good. Massage it in really good. Like massage it, even tap it like this. Tap it, because it just really plays into, it really connects to the cells and just improve the quality of the activity, right? All right, so this is what this comes in. And yeah, it normally comes in a bag, but once you take it out the bag, you don't need to put it in the bag again. But it normally comes in like a little box like this. And then here, your pump, you don't have to store it in the refrigerator. People ask me that. You could if you want to, but you don't have to. This comes in a box like this. If you are a hair professional and you have clients, this is I would highly, too many of us are missing edges. Too many of us are missing our edges, and we really don't have to miss our hair. Like, there are ways to stimulate and get that hair to come back in, right? Also, I want to make you aware that when we lose hair, it's usually, and it doesn't come back, it's not because of one reason. So for example, if you have braids or sewing or whatever the case may be, whatever pulls your edges out and they're not coming back in, they're more than likely not coming back in because you have another underlying issue, all right, that you probably would have faced in the future that just didn't hit you yet. But now you're starting to see it because your body is unable to create another hair strand and get it to grow up underneath that scalp so that it can actually penetrate. So good question. Does this work on other areas of the hair? It works on every area of the hair. I just chose to focus on edges because it's a common area. So yeah, it does. It works anywhere. Everywhere you have balding, it's very, very helpful. Okay. How soon do you see results? The results vary, but once you do this for a month, I would say between 4 to 6 weeks is what I usually say. Between 4 to 6 weeks. Some people have seen them sooner. Between 4 to 6 weeks. It just depends on what phase the follicles are in. So for example, let's say that you have some genetic issue going on and your follicle is starting to close up, but you didn't lose the hair yet. The hair is miniaturizing, but it hasn't died yet. So if you're catching it at that phase, you're going to notice very fast. But let's say you've been 10 years without any type of activity, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a little while because this has to formulate a hair strand first. And in that case, you definitely want to make sure that you're doing like a supplement. And this is only for aggressive hair loss. You want to make sure you're doing your supplement. You want to make sure you're doing the shampoo that has 11 gram of DHT inhibitors in it. If you haven't had activity in 10, 20 years, something like that, because you need all hands on deck. All right. All hands on deck. So when you start using the system, if you don't have any hair, if you have a dead follicle, we have to activate the follicle first. That's like the first step. That's going to come with cellular activity. So even though the follicle is activated and is opening up, you don't have no hair strand yet. So now the cells have to formulate, the amino acids have to build a hair strand. And then the hair strand has to grow underneath the scalp first before it can penetrate the scalp. So that's why I say never get my products work. They work. You just have to understand how they work. If you haven't had any activity in 10, 20 years, 10, 20 years, you're not going to see anything in a month. In 1 month, your body just formulated a hair strand. So just because you don't see anything doesn't mean it's not working. I need you to keep that in mind. I need you to keep that in mind because I don't want you to give up when stuff is actually happening. Okay? So it's going to take a month before your body actually forms a hair strand. It's going to take another month for the hair strand to grow underneath the scalp first. You have a space underneath your scalp that your hair strand has to grow under first. Oh, shoot. I need to hang my things up. I can show you guys. I have a poster. I have a poster. There's hair that actually grows underneath the scalp first before you see it here. It just doesn't start at the scalp. It starts about a half an inch underneath the scalp. So now you have to grow hair underneath the scalp first, and then it penetrates the scalp. And then that's when you start seeing hair. So if you haven't had hair for 10 to 20 years, your process can take about 2 months before you see hair. But you still have to stick with it. I'm telling you now. I've never seen it not happen. I've never seen it not happen. I've never seen it not happen. So if you're one of those ones that are discouraged, like no matter what I do, nothing is working. This is not that. This is not people who are not professionals who just trying to sell you something. This is not that. This is scientific proven. These are clinical study proven products. I've seen it for years work. I've never not seen it work on anybody. Now, how much does it work is another topic. Some people, if you haven't had hair for 20 years and you have some scarring alopecia, scarring Scarring alopecia is permanent damage, right? Most people don't have scarring alopecia. So don't never get that twisted. Scarring alopecia is the only hair loss that is non-reversible. However, even when you have scarring, all of the follicles are not scarred. So even in the absolute worst case here, you can get 30% of your hair back, 50% of your hair back, 70% of your hair back. It just really depends. The actual end result, I can't predict that, but I do know it's going to work. So the question is, do you want something or do you want nothing? Because if you do nothing, you gain nothing, and it only gets worse over time. This is a question I propose all of the time. Do you want something or do you want nothing? Something or nothing. That's the choice. That's the option. Because if you do nothing, you're going to gain absolutely nothing. And it's going to get worse over time. So do you just continue to cover up or do you go bald? If you don't try a more aggressive treatment that's natural, right? That's non-invasive. What's the alternative? Either you keep covering it up or you cut it off, bald. If you don't want that, you gotta stay open and listen to who is selling. There's people out here selling y'all stuff that say, oh, this is a hair growth oil, get it, boom, 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 and y'all just fall for it. Where are the receipts? Where is the science? Where's the facts? Like, how does it help this? You know what I mean? So just pay attention. Use your intuition. You got it. Stop being impulsive and just buying. You know what I mean? So if you're here, I'm Amber McField, Hair Growth Capital of the World CEO, American Medical Certified Trichologist. I have been helping thousands of women and men grow their hair for a very, very, very long time. I have thousands of testimonies, and now I teach hair professionals how to help you grow your hair as well. So I earned this spot, right? And so I know there's a lot of you all struggling out here, and a lot of you guys suffering in silence, but you really don't have to. You don't have to. So I'm really dedicated to trying to find solutions to help you get there. And I have so many solutions. I have internal solutions. I have external product solutions. I have more aggressive treatment solutions. I have service solutions. Some of you guys, I'm seeing you, Brown Taryn, one of my high school friends, you know, her hair didn't grow out like crazy for my 6 months sewing. You know what I mean? So it's like, there are solutions here, right? It's just a matter of like, what is resonating with you the most? How quick do you want to get results? What is your budget? Like, these are the questions that I ask when I'm talking to now virtual consultations now, but you know, even in the hair loss clinic, it's like, okay, how quick do you want to get to your results? If you don't care to get there quick, if you just want to get there gradually, but then this is the option and this is more economical. But if you want to get there quicker, this is my number one quick. When somebody say I want to get there quick, this is it. What I'm recommending you now that you can use at home. Right now, obviously, I will put them on, you know, additional things like their supplements, you know, their shampoo. They have like a whole regimen, right? But this is where it all starts. Okay? Growth factors with the scalp roller. If you comment growth, I'll send you the link, and there's some promotions. Because if you're really missing your edges or hair anywhere and you use this, you're going to see that it works, but you're going to want it again. And you can use it again. I would say use this for 3 months. If it's working, keep going. If like once you get the hair to come in and out of the scalp, now you transition into a different phase, into a different strategy. Now it's about caring for that hair, right? But you want to make sure that when that hair comes out, penetrates the scalp, that hair is very strong, it's very vital, it has what it needs, right? That's why I will oftentimes recommend the supplements when I'm doing this as well. Sometimes customers are on a growth therapy scalp solution, which is a cysteine-based gel. Not a gel as in a styling gel, but it has a gel-like consistency. So even there's some people who are aggressive that I may put them on growth factors, and they may do this at night. But in the morning, they may put this on. Very little, very, very little bit. And the reason why this is so important, because I don't know, have you guys been missing edges and then they seem like they came in and then they seem like they gone again? And then they come in and then they're gone again. That's because they're not strong enough. When the hair penetrates the scalp, it's really not at its optimum place to be facing the world, really. And so that's why you need something with like cysteine in it, because that's what your hair is mostly made of, to kind of help build up the strength in that follicle so it can actually survive when it penetrates, okay? Can you help me with your staff not responding to my email regarding a major problem with my order? Please contact me. Okay, can you message me? I want to make sure that you have the right email. And because they're usually really good about getting back with anybody pertaining to an order. So definitely message me your name, message me your order number. I will forward it to them, and then I will cross check to make sure that you sent the right email. And if so, did it get missed? How did it get missed? And all of that. So no problem. Yes, like they are playing peekaboo. Yes, exactly, Lakeisha Michelle. Yes, like peekaboo, and psych, I'm gone. You know what I mean? That's how it's not. They're not ready if you're not doing anything. So better prepare them to be ready. Okay. So we have many, many factors. Now, if you feel like you want this whole holistic approach, this multi-therapeutic approach, you may want to book a consultation with me. All right. Now I have a couple consultations when it comes to pairing things up. That's kind of where I come in at, right? But if you want to choose, and we get into your lifestyle a little bit, okay? Because a lot of y'all ain't right. Y'all not treating y'all temple right. Y'all not. But that's another topic. We talked about that. When did we talk about that? Last week. We talked about that last week. But like I said, if you just want to try and go with one solution, this is where you start, right? And as always, I'm always going to recommend a supplement. I always feel like you should be doing something internal and external, because you get results better and quicker. Okay. All right. Did I not answer any questions? Let me see. So I went over growth factor, what it does, how it helps your hair grow back in. I went over how to use it, how often to use it. I just don't know how to style them like the young girls. Somebody said, I got edges, I just don't know how to style them like the young girls. That's funny. Let's see. I would just make sure that I didn't miss any really important questions. How was it been working? Blah, 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 blah. Them wigs and braids are taking the goods. Well, over here they have. Yeah, wigs and braids, you got to be really careful, especially braids, really. Especially braids. Because braids are pulling on individual like strands of hair. Now, depending on, like, if you're wearing wigs or crochets, if you have an edge issue, I highly challenge you to stop braiding your hair back. When you have an edge issue, if you're missing edges, please do not braid your hair back. Under any circumstances, do you braid your hair going back. Stop doing that. Please stop doing that. It's the worst thing you could do. You want to braid your hair going down as much as possible. Just going down, because this is the way in which your hair grows. So if you braid it according to the way in which your hair grows, then it's not being pulled against the way in which your hair grows, if that makes sense. Tension, yes, tension. You gotta be careful. Hey, cuz I'm late. Are you saving this live? Yes, I'm saving the live. Hey, foodie engineers, my cousin. Hey, love, are you saving this live? I just got here. Yes, I'm saving the live now, and I'm actually about to hop off. But I really wanted to come on here because I'm seeing it's an epidemic. The way in which we don't have hair in the front. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. And my thing is, do you care or no? do you actually care? If you care, this is where you need to be. If you care about your hair, if you care about your health, this is definitely where you need to be. And if you know somebody who's missing their edges, share this live. Share it. Okay? Because these are solutions that actually help. I'm glad you talked about this. Yes. These are solutions that actually help. If my products don't help you, then you have permanent damage, which is called scoring alopecia. How do we book the full body consultation with you? That's the hair growth. Comment help. I think you can comment help. Comment help. And I think I'll send you. Let me see. Make sure. Let me make sure. No. Let me add it. It's gonna be the hair growth and wellness consultation. So I'm about to activate this now. Okay. All right, so I updated it. So if you comment help here in the live, it'll show you two consultations. Well, 4. I got a couple consultations. Different price range, different time allotments, different kinds. But the extensive one is the one that's the longest and the one that's the most expensive. And then there's one that's under that, that's way under that. Anytime you book those, it's going to give you a form to fill out. So when you fill out the form, I ask the questions so that when I get that form, I already know the solutions, right? But still, some things we may need to work through and work out, right? My bigger package, there's a whole setup. You know, you get a follow-up with it, all of that. So there's a whole thing with that one. So it just depends on what your budget is right now. But that is an option. That is definitely an option for you, for sure. And if you guys don't know, I tie holistic health into high-functioning scalp and hair. And so you're not going to find anyone. That's what my customers, my clients, who even do virtual consultations, say, this is so refreshing. Like, this is a breath of fresh air, because I go to somebody who knows hair, but that doesn't know health. I go to somebody that knows health that doesn't know hair, and they're conflicting. And so to find something with synergy is refreshing, is a breath of fresh air. So if that's something that you guys want to look deeper into, go for it, right? But if not, join my subscription. You can get my hair growth and wellness guide. You can comment start for that. Or what's another option? Or you can just follow all the content I put out. I put quite a bit of content out. But there's stuff that I don't talk about that's a little bit more deeper, because not everybody it's a lot of content. If you aren't following AK Hair Growth, follow AK Hair Growth right now. Let me put that in the chat. If you aren't following AK Hair Growth, follow there, because there we talk a lot more about isolated issues that may not even be the most common. You know, when we talk about menopausal issues, hair loss issues, gut issues, those type of things, we just it's only focused on hair care, products, things like that. So I'm getting all the things. My Namisha, that I know you my subscription family, so I always know you when that beautiful hair pops up. So yeah, okay, y'all. So that's it for today. I just kind of wanted to hop on here and go over that. You have solutions. Comment growth if here on the live or on any of the reels. Comment growth. It's gonna send you the information to the scalp roller and the growth factor. They work for growing in your edges or growing in any hair that is missing. If you are just joining me, make sure you go watch the replay because I break down how it actually helps. I break down actually how to use it as well. All right. So peace, love, and blessings, everybody. Enjoy your evening. And if you comment growth, it's also going to send you a promotion. I think 15% off, 20%, 20% off, 25% off, based on how many of those you get. Because if you use one, especially if you've already been using it and you already see the results, this is your time to take advantage. But if you're new to it and you use it, you're more than likely going to see results if you haven't been diagnosed with scarring alopecia. But even then, you're going to see some kind of result around that area, right? Just don't know how much. You're going to want to use it again. So this is a good time to take advantage to get maybe 2 and save 20-25%, right? So will the replay be on this page? Yes, the replay is going to be on Abra McField's page for this one. If you see me in my lab coat, it's going to be on AK Hair Growth page. A lot of times I have my lab coat on because I'm getting off of a consultation. So yeah. All right, you guys. Peace, love, and blessings. Have a good rest of your night and a very good night rest.